Man, I love that change. F, major 7. Of course, I'm in drop D. E minor 9 with a flat 7 in it. All resolving back to D, right? I love that B minor too with an open G. Then just raise that to the C. How cool is that? Right? Little finger picking pattern there. But what I wanted to show you today, I hope everybody's doing great. And by the way, I know I'm not the master of the Telecaster. I wasn't established in 2020. Mistakes aren't always free, and that's not a Fender Telecaster. That's a Fender bass on there, by the way. But not to point out all the things that are wrong with that sign immediately. I just know that in the comments you're going to be, picking that apart with a fine-tooth comb, as some of you do, and that's okay. But I wanted to thank my #1 fan in Japan. Thanks, man. I got this package in the mail. It actually went to Chris's house, the guy that helps me manage everything, and got this in the mail, and I went, holy shit! And I plugged it in. It's got about 60 different colors and different things it does, but it's an LED sign that he had made. And I thought, man, for right now, I put it right there about 5 minutes ago just to make sure it wasn't going to fall down. I just wanted to plug it in. But man, thank you so much. I don't know exactly who it is that sent that, so I got to go back downstairs, get the package out. A lot of it's in Japanese, and I'm going to try to track down who sent that. But if you're watching on here, please comment and tell me who you are, because this is awesome. I love it. So, guys, I wasn't able to get on here this weekend. I went out to the waterfall, Cummins Falls. I'm going to put a little video of that at the end of this video. I wanted to tell you that the sign-up list, the waiting list for 2026 Scotland Guitar Dreams Retreat, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. I'm now a part of it this coming year. I'm artistic advisor for the Scotland retreat, because I helped them on the last one and they wanted to bring me on board. And so, of course, I did, because that's what I like to do. The projects never end. So anyway, just wanted to tell you that that's something that's very cool. I'm going to put the link below. There's an amazing, almost an hour long, it's like 48 minutes long, documentary they did. It's beautiful, filmed incredibly, and very fun to watch. So I'll be posting that eventually, but the link for the sign up I'll put below. All the links for everything that I do are below. There's a lot of them, but just go through there and see what strikes you. So the guitar party stuff, the thing that's happening that I can't tell you about on September 8th, I'll be posting about that after the fact. That's going to be incredible. Another notch in the headboard in Nashville for that one. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are doing good. Like I said, I wasn't able to get to a video this past weekend because we went out to the waterfall and did some hiking and just kind of took it easy this past weekend, man. I try to take weekends off. And, if anybody out there is running a small business, which basically that's what we're all doing here as musicians, it's like running any kind of other small business, man. The work never stops. You never turn it off, really. I wake up thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I think about it all day long, and that's cost me many relationships, and that's probably why I don't have any kids. And some people say that that's self-absorbed or you're spoiled or all those things. Hey, I'm all those things. I'm all those things and lots more, baby. But man, I didn't move to Nashville for the Titans. I didn't move to Nashville for the hot chicken. I didn't move to Nashville for the Cumberland River. I didn't move to Nashville for the weather. I didn't move here to start a family. I moved here because of this thing right here. And hopefully I'll be able to keep playing it, because my fucking first finger here on this hand is really giving me some trouble. I'm going to see another specialist tomorrow, and if he can't help me, I'm going in deep with some of the most highly recommended orthopedic guys here in Nashville, Vanderbilt, and at the Tennessee Orthopedic Association. So I've got some really amazing recommendations. If you don't like to listen to the stories and me talking on here on YouTube, then that's okay. There's plenty of other free channels that you can go check out of people that aren't going to be as candid with you and share their life and their thoughts and stuff like that with you. Now, I think these channels work because, like Nick said the other day, he goes, we're really just talking to ourselves on here. You know, I mean, we're just spewing out you guys are like our therapists, you know, we're just spewing out all these things that come across our minds. But and I really do appreciate it. And I got to say, man, I got to tell you, they're a big heartfelt thank you to anybody and everybody that purchased the Brett Papa course and the sale. Because man, that was a life changer. I mean, that was on paper the single most successful thing I've ever been a part of in my life. We've sold over like 72 or 7,300 courses, and in case you guys don't know it, that's like almost, I think we're over the $500,000 mark. I mean, so it's life changing. I paid off some property. My rental property, I paid it off with the first check from the Brett Papa course. I'm not bragging or complaining, but I'm letting you know that this is the kind of thing that happens. Like, we work hard to create these things. You support it, and you know it's a life changer for us, man. And so this is part of growing and evolving and ending up where you're at and keeping working at this every day. I mean, I was just telling some young kid, I was like, man, look, you know, you can't have blinders on as a musician, especially as an instrumentalist, to where you want to go to a gig, play a gig for $100. You're gonna have to kind of learn somebody's songs, and you might only play them one time. They're gonna pay you some nominal fee. You're never gonna be able to retire. You're never gonna be able to live the life you want. If you want to have, you know, if you want to buy a house and you want to have some retirement and you want to have a safety net, if you just want to kind of, you know, weave your way through life and kind of like, you know, you're okay with just this very minimal lifestyle, hey, that's amazing. And that's probably how we should all be doing it. I particularly don't want that. I like to have nice things, and I want to keep growing and take it to the limit. So that's just how my brain works. But you got to think outside the box. You got to get creative. You can't just let somebody else tell you what your worth is, what you're going to get paid. You have to create your own universe in the music world. And so that has been a very happy place for me to end up. It's a lot of work. Is it still torturous sometimes? And you wonder, you know, why things aren't moving faster and all this blah blah blah. But that's our own perception, man. So we just got to get over that and keep working. But I was going to show you a couple things on the guitar before we get too far into all that shit. But if you take a triad, any of those are all the same notes. That's a fifth, that's a root, that's a third. That's a third, that's a fifth, that's a root. That's a root, that's a third, that's a fifth. Those are all the same. All these notes are just repeating themselves. That's a root, that's a third, that's a fifth, that's a fifth, that's a root, that's a third. That's a root, that's a third, that's a fifth, that's a third, that's a fifth, that's a root. All this stuff is connected. It's all just repeating itself in these different inversions of the fingerboard. The most important things are the hand positions, the fingerings, and getting that down. And then ultimately, of course, I'm going to say this till the end of my days, is it's your ear. You have to be able to hear this stuff. And this is a great way to do this. Take a triad, D, start on the fifth, right? That's a melody. Boom, 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 boom. That's the fifth to the root. That's the root to the third. So take these really simple. Start on the fifth. Fifth to the root. That's the major scale in that hand position right there. So go 5, 2, go the sixth to the root, right? Maybe continue that. Could you hear that when I flipped that pick over? It's got a rough spot on it. I immediately heard that. Versus, I can hear that. So fifth to the root. Go the fifth up to the third. By way of the two. You wouldn't go. You could, but you're not. So just because a note is in the scale doesn't mean that's a landing note. Those notes are to get you from this to this without it just sounding like an arpeggio. Well, no. That sounds more like music. Go from the fifth to the all the way to the third. Go back down, third to the fifth. Now go root up to the fifth. Root up to the third. So do it in one position, but then work it up the neck as well, of course, but right? Try to sing this stuff too, right? So let's go to another inversion. Let's go to this one right here. That could be your A shape or your G shape, but let's go to that triad. Fifth up to the third. Add the fourth, but come off of it to the third. You want to be landing on those chord tones. Those are the ones that you rest on, that you stop on. If you just go, well, there's nothing resolving there. I don't even know what you're telling me at that point. So all these other notes are just color notes to get there. Start on the fifth, to the root, to the third, all the way up to the fifth again. Then manipulate them. Right, get familiar with those, right? Let's go up to this triad. Well, let's start on the, let's do the root. Root to the fifth. Right? Because that's a triad also. They're just different inversions. So if I go to the third, down to the fifth. So you're using these different degrees of the triad to spark your melodies and melodic content, right? So if I go here up to this triad, out of your E shape, start on the root. Let's start on the fifth. Out of this triad, then we're going to use this triad. So right then, I'm a little out of tune. Then right here. But if you don't use the right hand position, it's going to add years to your journey, right? Right, so root to the third, third to the fifth, fifth to the root, root to the third, third to the root, root to the fifth, fifth to the third, third to the root. All that stuff starts coming out of there. it's just a series of all these triads connecting. It's all the same notes, right? So that's how we need to start looking at open up the guitar. I hope that helps. This stuff is not complicated, but it's not easy either. You got to hear it. You have got to hear these, major, minor, dominant 7. Minor. That's a minor sound. That's very, very different than this. Then dominant 7. Nice combination. Anyway, guys, so much to catch up on. Every day here's a whirlwind. I gotta tell you, man, a little quick story. Monday night was awesome at the cover charge. We've raised our at the cover charge at the underdog. The underdog was amazing. Monday night, we raised the cover charge. That's what I was trying to say. I got flipped up on my words there. What was I going to tell you? We doubled the cover charge. We were charging $10. We went up to 20. The place was still packed. People from all over the world. We thought that was going to hurt us a little bit, but everything's inflated. So we thought we'd raise our price. It's not going to hurt anything, I think. But just wanted to say thanks to everybody that's supporting that gig when they come to Nashville. We're meeting people from all over the place. Had some great friends in there Monday night. Even though my finger was killing me, we still played our asses off, and everybody loved it. And it was just a great. There was a lot of laughs. We had some great laughs in there, and it was just a blast. So I'm grateful for those nights. The next day had an amazing 2 lessons in a row. Had an in-person lesson here with a guy that's been in Nashville for 13 years. He's 39 years old. He works at Trader Joe's. He's got a DJ gig in Murfreesboro 3 or 4 nights a week. But he came in. He's wearing cowboy boots and he's a character like out of a movie. And he comes in and he goes, man, he brought 2 acoustic guitars, 1 National resonator and a nice acoustic. And he goes, man, can I play you some stuff? And I went, yeah, sure, man. And the music that started coming out of this speaker right here, I said, man, just plug into this little speaker. Gibbons sends me these speakers all the time, so I got a ton of these. I said, hey, plug into that speaker. So the music that started coming out with these was this like amazing world music, man. This cool modal sounding sort of stuff. And I went, dude, that's not what I was expecting. Then he proceeds to play me some original songs, and I was like, dude, you've got something here, And I wonder how many people like that are floating around Nashville that we don't. He's like, man, yeah, I just need some help. I'm like, dude, let's record something. So that was very inspiring. A very just raw talent. That's my point of all that. Just raw talent sitting there. And then I had a Zoom lesson with a guy that was in Hawaii, and he was telling me this really interesting story of his wife working with the State Department, and he's lived all over Mexico and Hawaii and San Francisco and LA and all over the place, and he goes, man, I actually spent some time in Nashville when I was 10 years old. My grandfather made a record in East Nashville, and I was like, oh man. I said, cool. I said, dude, that must have been like. He goes, yeah, 1983, and I went, wow. I thought, and I'm thinking to myself, if your grandfather's making a record in East Nashville in 1983, he sounds like a character too. And so I went, well, man, I'm so curious. I said, who's your grandfather? And he goes, oh, Dean Martin. And I went, Dean Martin? I said, like, the Dean Martin? And he goes, yeah. He goes, it's pretty crazy, man. He was my grandfather. And I went, oh my God, that's amazing. So we started talking about that, and just this piece of wood right here, this guitar neck and this headstock is like a lightning rod conductor, superconductor for relationships. And that's what this all comes down to, man. It's not about chops. It's not about, who can play the fastest or anything. It's about melodies that take you somewhere, that make you feel something, a lyric that takes you somewhere, makes you feel something, and it's about the friendships and the relationships and working hard and taking a break and all these things that we have to balance and juggle throughout our lives. The older I get, man, I'm just realizing that, man, it ain't about the chops. I don't want to hang out with most of those people that can play like that. I hate to say it, but it's true. I want to hang out with guys like Jed and Tom and Nick and Jimmy and Jordan and Tim, that guys that live in town, that are friends of mine, that know what it means to make great music. And about songs, and stuff like that. And so that's where I want to spend my time and who I want to spend my time with, and you guys, of course. And so thanks for all that. The channels are doing pretty good and everything's looking up. So we're going to keep rocking. I'm going to go get some prescription sunglasses here in a minute and continue to rock on. I'm working with young Tom to get the drum machine going back here so I can play along to some drum tracks and show you guys what it's like to play along to some rhythms and things like that. And so we're not done yet, folks. We're just getting started around here. So not telecasting today, but got the little Martin custom shop parlor guitar with all the fancy bells and whistles. I need to tune it and probably change the strings and maybe get it set up a little bit. It's I've been kind of dragging it around the house like a kid drags his blanket around, but I love this little guitar, man. Anyway, guys, all right, I've been talking too long. We'll see you guys real soon. Thanks a bunch. The weather is amazing in Nashville. Look at the forecast, man. We got blessed with some incredible weather. So, yeah, man, signing off. Thanks for putting up with all the craziness, and we'll see you real soon. All right, cheers.